Hello ladies and welcome back to a new video. I'm Urania and this is the channel where we focus on self-improvement and how we become the best version of ourselves. In today's video, we're talking about how you can handle rude people and rude comments. This can happen at work, this could be a family member, this could be a friend or a stranger. How do you handle situations like that? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you different options and different ways on how you can handle that. Ladies, let's get straight into today's video. The very first point, and the most important one in my opinion, is to breathe and think before you speak. You don't want to take the bait, so you don't want to immediately speak when someone is being rude to you. Because by doing this, things can quickly escalate, and you don't want that. Instead, the first thing you're going to do is to take a deep breath and pause. Take the moment to consider what you're going to say before you say it, as often our first reaction is not the one we're going to be most proud of. When you take a moment and you pause, you give yourself the opportunity to be objective. So pause, take a moment, and take a deep breath before you reply. Number 2, don't respond to rudeness with rudeness. When someone is being rude to you, you want to try your best to resist responding in the same way. And here is why. Because it's going to start this cycle of more rude behavior and just negativity. The second thing when it comes to responding to rudeness with rudeness is that it's not going to get you anywhere. In fact, it can get you in some trouble. Think about a work setting. You don't want to be called to the boss's office for an argument you didn't even initiate. And the third thing when it comes to responding to rudeness with rudeness is that it's going to get you so angry and upset. You're not going to feel good when you respond in that way. And it's just not worth it. On top of that, by you getting angry, you're actually letting another person controlling your emotions. They are making you upset. They are controlling the way how you feel. And that's not a good position to be in. So responding to rudeness with rudeness is not how we handle it. So how do you handle it? Let's get to the next point. Number 3, stand up for yourself. When it comes to rude people, they can be very direct and they can just tell you what they think. And sometimes the best way that we can respond to these people is to be direct back. But we don't do it in a rude way and we think before we say something. We think before we open our mouth. You don't have to take people's disrespect. And when you feel that you have to address the situation, you should address the situation. Have a conversation with that person and tell them what's going on. Make this person aware of what is happening and how they're making you feel. When you're being disrespected and you want to stand up for yourself, you have to do it directly. So you cannot beat around the bush. One of the best ways that you can do this is to stick with I statements. So for this part of the video, I'm going to give you an example of how you can handle a situation like that. So you might have a conversation with someone and they're being rude to you. How can you stand up for yourself? And how can you even set your boundaries? Let's look at an example. And I'm going to use my imaginary coworker Peter for this part of the video. Yes, for the ladies who remember Peter, Peter is back. For this example, Peter is using a lot of offensive language and he's cursing a lot. Let me show you how you can handle a situation like that. Peter, I have to interrupt you here. When you're using offensive language and you're cursing, I feel disrespected. And I like to treat other people with respect. So that's how I like to be treated as well. You could leave it here, or when you want to end the conversation, this is how you can do that. For that reason, I would like to end the conversation and leave it at that. Have a good day. So that was a good example of how you can stand up for yourself, set boundaries, and keep it classy. Number 4, don't take it personal. And this point actually comes with time. The older you get, the more life experience you have, you're going to understand this point even better. And when it comes to this point, it also requires you to look at the situation from another person's perspective. And that requires growth and strength. So let's go a little bit deeper. When someone is being rude, do you think that that person is having the best day? That they're feeling great? That they're high in their energy and everything is going good in their life? What do you think? Well, my answer is actually no. Because people who are happy, people who have things going for them, who are good and who are fulfilled, who are happy with themselves, who have things in order, often don't reply in a rude way. People who are rude are often going through something, things that we don't know of. And first of all, it doesn't make it right for them to be rude. Definitely not. But by understanding this, it can help you to look at the bigger picture and know that it's not about you. It's about the person. So whenever someone is being rude to you, remember this. A person that is completely happy, content, and fulfilled has no reason to be rude to someone. That means that there is more going on in that person's mind and life, and it has nothing to do with you. So don't take rude behavior personal. It's about them and not you. And ladies, now I would love to hear from you. Have you been in a situation where someone was being rude to you and you actually handled the situation better than you expected? Please share it with us in the comment section below. And also share with us what you did, how you handled it, so we can learn from each other. I will go first and share a situation with you. So I was in a grocery store getting my groceries, and there was this guy with a shopping cart, and he kind of pushed against me with a shopping cart because he wanted to move past me. The first thing that came in my mind was like, well, just ask me and I would literally step aside so you can move along. And he didn't do that. So I looked up and looked at his face, and it seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. And I could have just told him, right? Next time you can ask me and I will step aside. But I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like saying anything because I'm all about choosing your battles. And this one right here was not a battle I was willing to have with someone. I would have said something if he would have hurt me, right? Or if it was clearly that he did it on purpose, then definitely I would have said something. Or I would have said something if it could be reoccurring. For example, at work, if someone is in a position that they might do it over and over again, then you have to say something. But in this moment, I decided to not say something because first of all, it seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. And the second thing was like, it was just not worth it for me. It was just not worth it. So it basically comes down to the situation. Not every situation requires you to say something or to reply. So please share your situation in the comment section below. Number 5 is to ask questions. You will really caught this person off guard. They will not know what hit them. So when someone is being rude to you, you could ask them a question such as, what has made you say this to me? Why are you responding in this way? What makes you so comfortable asking me this? What is going on here? Why are you saying this? What makes you want to say this to me? Always go with open-ended questions. Don't go with questions that can be answered with yes or no. You are not giving them the chance to think. And you want to be in control of the situation by making them think about what they just asked you. I have to say that this is one of my favorite ways to respond to someone's being rude. Answer them by asking a question. Number 6, lead by example and show kindness. Leading by example by showing kindness to someone who's being rude to you or being very difficult can actually make the person follow your lead. In this way, you are showing the person that you have manners and showing them the correct way to treat others. By responding with kindness instead of being rude, you are actually bringing calmness to the situation. And you're giving the other person the chance to get on this more calm vibe instead of being rude to each other. And if the person does not reply with kindness in return, know that you did what you could and be proud of yourself for not lowering your standards and being rude in return. And now it's time for today's quote. Rudeness is the weak person's imagination of strength. Number 7, ignore the person. And sometimes the best response is no response. Ignore the person and ignore their comments. Simply act like you don't know what the person just said. You can even give a confused look, ignore the situation, and move along. And this comes back to choosing your battles. Sometimes someone's rude comment or a rude person is not worth your energy. It's not worth your time. You just want to ignore the situation and get on with your day. Number 8, keep it clean and keep it classy. Whatever you do, keep it classy, ladies. Don't start cursing, don't start yelling, don't start getting physical with someone. Keep it classy at all time, especially when you're in a crowded area with other people around you. Right? You always think about your image and on how this situation can change the way that other people might see you. Because an image is something that takes a long time for you to build. And by making a little mistake, something that you did not think through, it can completely destroy your image. And that's not what you want. Always keep it in mind. Don't give the other person the power to control your emotions. They are not in control. You are in control of your emotions. So keep it clean and keep it classy. And ladies, we came to the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something. If so, give the video a thumbs up and share what you think about the video in the comment section below. I would like to thank you so much for watching, ladies, and we will see each other next week. Have a great week, ladies.